Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Ron Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schwein and Pete Thompson. Before we get started, Pete, I want to thank you so much for bailing me out last week. I was hit with the vid, but I'm made a full recovery.
Welcome back from Ronaville. How was the Rona?
Well, I'll tell you what. The first time I caught it, I was out for I was off my feet for 10 days.
This was your second go round with that
go-round.
evil person.
So, but the first time I was literally in bed or on the couch for 10 to 12 days.
Oh, I knew when you called me crying and moaning that you thought you were dying. I was like, oh, God, stay away. We can handle this. We got it. Props to Vince. Vince, the intern. Vinny here with us.
Vinny is in here with us today, so we got a great show.
You know what his biggest contribution? He had a lot of contributions last Sunday, but one of his biggest contributions was I could not get Cornflake Lamanna hooked up on the StreamYard correctly. Yeah. And I said, all right, Vince, this is your moment. Talk for 30 seconds. Who won last night, by the way? He won.
Oh, good.
The Holy Spirit kid, Justin Figueroa, just in time. He won his pro boxing debut, which was great. I mean, so good for those guys. Good to see boxing back at Boardwalk Hall. And, of course, the Phillies won last night, and I was there. And Mike Gill, I have to just lead the show by saying this. Mike Gill is a pitching savant. I was complaining, Billy, on Friday that Bailey Falter, man, we got gypped. We got Bailey Falter to the point that yesterday
the Mets had a bullpen game too.
Yeah, but the Phillies did not win that one.
Wow.
I said that, we got gypped because we're going to get Bailey Falter. Gil's like, if you look at the numbers, Bailey Falter was really good against the Mets his last time out. 6 innings last night, 2 hits, 1 run earned, that early run that he gave up. He struck out 3 through 84 pitches, and then they went Alvarado Robertson. Now, there is something going on with Sir Anthony Dominguez, maybe. The fact that they squeezed 2 innings out of David Robertson, and it was a little shaky there. I mean, the tying run was at the plate.
Well, he had pitched,
pitched
I think, 2 days in a row prior to that.
I'm just saying, Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Well, he's throwing the ball 100 miles an hour now. He's up over 100. I saw a couple.
I saw some tweets last night after you were already in your cups that seemed to indicate that Sir Anthony, you were overserved. Sir Anthony Dominguez.
I'm not that big. I'm not bitch.
No, you're using subjects and verbs and predicates and, full sentences. You're doing okay.
Hey, we got a great show lined up. I can't wait to talk to Tommy Greene and get his take on we can't beat the Mets. I was freaking out yesterday after game 1. I was really like, man, we can't beat the Mets. We're 5-13 against them, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, they've struggled against the Mets for sure. What's also crazy is that you'd think that there'd be another series with the Mets somewhere down the stretch. And
there is. They have one more left after this, right?
No, brother. This is it. Today's game at 1:35 is the last game of the series. Now, the Mets called up their rookie, this guy, Jose Buto. They called him up from AAA, so he's going to go up against Kyle Gibson. He's a rookie because he's wearing number 70. Right? It's a 24-year-old right-hander out of Venezuela. Wow. So, look, just like Falter was really good last night, this guy could be good simply because they haven't seen much on him. You know what I mean? But
well, here we go.
Let's hope that they win the series or split the series today.
My my Twitter poll question that we started yesterday is at Locker Room 973 after the Phillies lost game 1 to the Mets. Do you still believe, or have you checked out on the Phillies? Right now, 63% say they still believe. 37% say they've checked out.
I mean, why would you check out? Well, what are you checking out for? The Eagles haven't started yet.
Well, that's one of the
The NFL hasn't started yet. There was a lot of preseason action last night, but what are you checking out for?
Well, I'm just put the 37% have.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Then they were never checked in. You know, I don't give them a lot of credit. They
Well,
were
let me-
people last night. By
let
the
me-
way, you're welcome for the hat. Vinny gets a hat. Billy gets a hat. You know, it was the sustainable hat giveaway night last night by PGW, and there was a lot of Mets fans of the 39,000.
That's what I was going to. My next thing was
374.
how did it
Right.
look in the stands?
It was crowded.
But I know we did the blue and the orange. Was there? Did you see a lot of that?
Oh, absolutely, there was a lot of that.
pisses
But
me off.
listen, there wasn't a lot for them to say when they were down 3-1 after 3, and the Mets had 2 hits all the way through until. Who was it until Robertson came in the 8th?
Listen, Vince, I got to tell you, Pete, I listened on the radio and I saw a little bit on the TV when I was at the bar. You
See how he just
on
admitted?
the radio, you heard more cheers for the Mets.
I was at game 1, so I saw that.
The day game.
I saw that horrendous display of baseball displayed.
Zach Wheeler, man?
Let me tell you, the top section.
Yeah,
there were 5 sections in a row. I guess they bring like buses of them down. It was all just Mets fans in the same shirt, and the shirt really got to me because it was
pisses me off.
No, it was the love, but for the O they had the Mets logo.
Okay,
making fun. You know,
see, I ran into some guys. There was a lot of buses last night for the night game as well. I ran into some guys. There was about 10 or 12 of them that were on. They've been doing this road trip every year at Coors Field, Jacobs Field.
Right, the travel.
You know, they traveled, so they really didn't have a stake either way. But their shirts were very creative. They had Rocky on the left, and Rocky had his gloves on, and he was punching out Mr. Met. So I thought that was great. But I also thank these guys because they didn't really have a stake in the game. Where do you think your hats came from? Like when the game got done, I was like, hey, half these guys just left their free hat in the seat.
At Locker Room 973, on the Twitter question, after the Phillies lost the game 1 to the Mets, do you still believe, or have you checked out? At Locker Room 973, please contribute. We'll take it to the end of the show, and then we'll give the total results.
Sure, we'll keep checking.
When are you going to check in, Vince?
I'm checking right now. Give me 1 second.
And by the way, you know that I took 3 Mets fans to the game.
Yeah, well, I saw that. I'm like,
Pete, some people were upset about that, but my reverse psychology. No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
My reverse psychology worked.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, be nice to Mets. First of all,
on
from a total selfish standpoint, again, where do you think your hats came from, right? I mean, you take 3 Mets fans, they're not going to want the hat, right? So that was good. Secondly, it was Rick Tokarski, the piano man, who, by the way, is in church right now, like getting ready to like start the service, and it kills him because he's like, I gotta have an earpiece in there, like somewhere between the doxology, but he thinks if he was at the organ with an earpiece in, he'd start laughing like in the middle of the service, like at the quiet part, right now. Let's bow our heads.
let me, and also in hour 2, we're going to be talking to the president of the West Jersey Football League, because next week they're having that Battle by the Beach, which I saw a couple of those games last year.
Did you get my graphic that I sent you so you have your cheat sheet on who the teams are?
My hometown. Thank you, Vince. Vince just checked in, participated.
Still believe.
Yeah, he still believes. So, but I that was a pretty good, enjoyable thing to watch last year.
You didn't let me thank all 3 of them. It was Eric Tokarski, Rick Tokarski, and Chris Matuzin were my Mets fans.
You go on tangents.
It wasn't a 20-minute tangent. I just got to say my guys.
Talk.
What do you think? You're the host? I mean, you take weeks off.
Pete, I'm over here.
You take weeks off. Vince and I are here all the time.
You know what? One thing I can say, I don't miss that many weeks.
Nah, I've
only missed. The last time I missed was the last time I had COVID,
and I wasn't complaining. Listen, you
did an awesome job. I really appreciate it. But you are somewhat of I would say, a sports historian. Could I say that because you're a wealth of knowledge.
I've lived a decent life in my 51 years. I've seen a lot of
things.
Have
some brain cells left.
I have not killed them all, although I tried at the Rod Stewart concert on Friday night.
And I'll ask you about that in the second hour.
Very good.
But my point on the show yesterday was how many. And I think I remember this more from hockey than any other sport. But how many times or how many teams that you can recall that the other team owned them, but then they get the playoffs and the fortunes reverse. That's how happened to the Flyers. I know that.
Yeah. And by the way, the Mets are 13-5 against the Phillies this season.
I said 5-13. The Phillies.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. See how you went to the Mets. You talk Phillies first.
I have one.
What?
2008 Eagles playoff run. They destroyed the Cardinals on Thanksgiving, like beat them 50-14 or something like that, and then lost to them in the NFC Championship.
There you go.
There's one.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
that's the only one I could think
if
of.
You
right
really,
there.
but I'm sure there's a lot more I can remember. I just can't remember specifically. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I thought, Pete, you'd have a
like teams that
like the Flyers,
are owned in the regular season.
They were owned by the I think 2010 when they were owned by the Celtics or by the Bruins, and then they came in and beat them in the
but they had to rally all the way from down
3-1.
3-3, and they were down 3-0 in that game.
But the Bruins owned the Flyers that year.
I mean, there's a lot of streaks like that. I look at it like this, the Phillies need to keep winning to get into the playoffs. They need to sharpen up. There were, it's funny. There were certain times where the ball got thrown around a little bit in this series so far, and I've just thought, like, please do not give Keith Hernandez any more ammunition. Stop doing that. But this is one of those nemesis, and it takes me back to when the Eagles used to play the Giants or the then Washington Redskins.
Right.
Those my seats were in 649.
Right.
So those were the ones where the visiting fans would come down the most, and you'd have that. But that builds to the atmosphere in the ballpark. And guys, I saw this
it's not
morning.
like it used to be because ultimately
it was
the
all
fights.
yeah, and
Especially in the vet.
I didn't see any fights last night, but Tyler Kepner, who's a friend of the show and has followed Sports Bash in the locker room in 97.3 for a long time, he put this tweet up late last night. He said, more than 76,000 people bought tickets to attend the Mets-Phillies games combined today in Philadelphia. By the end of the weekend, it'll be 150,000 plus for the 4 games. That's yet another example of why it's so silly and stupid when people talk about baseball's supposed lack of popularity. And he's got a point there. This is one of those rivalry series that you draw from both fans. I hear you. Once the streak ended, that sellout streak ended,
right?
When were the times that the ballpark would be filled? They'd play interleague games against the Red Sox.
Right.
Boom, it'd be filled.
Yeah.
Interleague game against the Yankees.
And always
it'd be filled, right? Mike Trout Day filled.
Yeah,
right?
oh yeah.
Opening day filled.
Yeah.
But that was a good attendance last night. I thought the
look,
39-3-7-4.
The Phillies are 16-7 in their last 23 games, and they've only committed 4 errors. So they're on the reason why I asked that poll question is because you know how fickle our fans are.
Yes.
They get one loss and they're all jumping ship. I just wanted to see. I guess it's just
that's what I don't understand.
Take
the
the
13 games over 500 still. It's
right.
It's not like they're on a 5-game losing
and guess
streak.
what? We're 2 games up on Milwaukee in the wild card.
That's also good. The biggest thing last night was that they gave up a run early, and then in the bottom of the first, Kyle Schwarber, he comes to the dish, and somebody behind me says, how come we have Schwarber leading off? And I said, we don't have anybody else. Like, we don't have a leadoff hitter. And what does he do? He goes and hits a triple to start the ball game, and then comes home and scores. I mean, that was outstanding.
Been doing a pretty good job in the first time ever leadoff position.
You're going to put Bryson Stott ahead of somebody that's hitting 333.
No, but where's Schwarber more valuable? Probably the second, third, or fourth, fifth batting position, right?
Yeah,
because his RBIs are low. He should have at least 30 more RBIs.
Says you. Well, that's what happens.
Yeah, says me.
That's what happens when you hit solo home runs.
I just wouldn't move him because of how good he's been at leadoff. I don't want to tamper with his position, because Castellanos, you moved him from 3rd and clean up to 5, and he's
but
in
a perfect world though, Schwarber should be batting 3rd, 4th, or 5th.
He should be batting 4th. I agree.
Right?
What about Harper? When Harper comes,
by the way, did you see the video of him hitting practice?
Looked great.
He was putting bombs in his
nice.
and his swing looked good.
Yeah.
He wasn't wincing. It didn't look. I had to open it up a little bit, enlarge the picture.
You were Zapruder filming it. You were going frame by frame, back and forth, back and forth.
All right, we got a great show lined up. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing for the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. My winter watchdog. He was like sitting by the bike waiting for the bark. All right. Have you heard of New Jersey Premier?
I looked at Vince last week for the bark,
Yeah,
and he's like, "You don't expect me to." He goes, "You don't expect me to do that."
So he was reading, stopped, and looks up at me.
Oh,
I was like, I'm not gonna do it.
I listened to you guys. I didn't miss one day. I want to make sure that if Pete messes up, I'm on him this week.
That's right.
He did yeoman's work last week. All right. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming in the winter, or the daunting task of driving the shore to check on your house hours of time on the road, or if you're down in Florida for the winter. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or send Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN.
The best way to wake up is with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at
New Outlanders in stock now. An entire fleet of new and pre-owned. New Mitsubishis from just $17,000.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
Every vehicle, one dime down.
At the all-new Springfield Mitsubishi Atlantic City.
In Pleasantville, they service all makes and models.
Springfield Mitsubishi AC.com. Springfield Mitsubishi AC.com.
New 22 Mirage, 16.4 down, $249 a month for 72 months at 3% APR, plus tax tag title to qualified buyers.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
We're back, Pete. The PT.
The other day, the computer didn't work. I tried to play the police for the guy that's the jerk.
Real quick. Sing the only police song you know right now.
I just did.
That wasn't a police song.
Just the other day, the computer didn't work. I'm changing the lyrics.
Yeah, I know.
To the host that's putting me on the spot. He's a real jerk.
Well, you're the concert.
I'll send a message to
I'll
Billy
send an
Schweim.
SOS to the world. Listen, you're the concert goer.
Yeah, Rod Stewart was great the other night.
I'd love to see Rod Stewart again. I've seen him once.
Yeah, Susan and I had a good time. I'd love to look that up.
But Rod Stewart's you bring a girl to that, or your date or significant
That's
other.
who I brought to it, and she was very pleased.
Did you have a romantic night, Pete?
We did. Yeah, it was very nice. We stayed over, and
Pete, I really appreciate
stayed
the hat.
in the city.
I got a Philadelphia Phillies story that I got to tell you. I shared it yesterday with the audience, but I'll reiterate and I'll tell you too.
Okay.
So Thursday. It was Thursday. I'm in Collingswood, and I'm at a computer store called Camtech in Collingswood.
Okay.
And they got a big picture with it. They're right on the avenue.
All right.
The business is right. So anybody that walks by, you can see him clear as day. So I'm standing there waiting for it to be helped, and I look to my right out the picture window, and there is Kyle Schwarber.
No kidding.
Yes. And I'm looking, I'm trying to find a card, one of my business cards, and I can't find it. So I'm just scrambling around looking, and finally I found one.
Where was this again?
Collingswood.
Very good.
Camtech.
Okay.
All right. Now, it's about as far as I'm to you right now.
Yeah.
That's about how far I was.
About
and I was
4 feet for those who can't see us.
Right.
But, yeah.
So I walk out, I find a card. I look back, he's still there, and I can't find it. I'm looking back. Finally, I find the card. I look around, he's still there because he was talking to somebody, but they were just stopped. I guess they stopped him.
Gotcha.
So
he's a popular guy right now.
And I run outside. I go, it's not every day of the week you get to see an active Philadelphia Philly on the streets of Collingswood. He started laughing.
Right.
And then we started talking, and I said, well, listen, I work with Debbie Nikito in the alumni office.
That's good.
And I get access to. She's really not kind to me, and she gets giving me access to former players. But very rarely do I get an opportunity because I don't go to the games because I have a 7-year-old. I get home at like 1:00 in the morning. I can't do.
Right.
Because after the games they're there, they might not get out of there till 1.
Yeah, we got home late last night. Right? It was like 11:30.
But you're not there interviewing people after.
No. If I had been, it was a 3-hour and 23-minute game. It started a little bit later because of the first game. It was.
If you got in there and did your business right away, Pete, you probably would have gotten out of there by 12:30, and you probably wouldn't have been home till 1:30.
If I was a member of the media. Yeah. It certainly helps that. I know, but I was there as a fan. Night.
I'm sure I could get my press pass back.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold statement. You think so, huh? The statute of limitations is run out on that?
I'll check my phone at the door.
Sure.
All right.
No pictures.
So then I said, listen, here's my card. I said, I'm with 97.3 ESPN. I said, Kyle, I'd love to have you on my show one day if you ever can make time on Saturdays and Sundays between 10 and 12.
Yeah.
He said, oh, yeah, that's cool. I said, all right, well, I'm not going to ask you for your phone number, but here's my card. And if you can remember, send me an email and I'll get back to you.
Oh, good.
And he was really receptive.
That sounds like a very
positive
positive
he put his hand
experience.
out, gave me a handshake and everything. Super cool guy.
That's nice.
He did tell me, now this is Thursday. He said, well, I said, you guys got to beat the Mets. He goes, don't worry about it. Mark it. We're going to beat the Mets. It's what he said.
Right.
And he said, I'm starting. I'm back in the lineup. That's exactly what he said.
There you go. He gave you a little breaking news.
Oh, I said that to Josh and Mike.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
When were you on with Josh and Mike?
No,
Thursday.
I just sent him a text.
Yeah. So there you go. You're a team player.
I'm a team player.
Right.
You know I'm a team player.
I know you are. There's no I in team.
There's no I in team.
But there is a Schweiner.
There is an I in Schwein.
Yeah, there is.
All right, Pete. So along the lines of what my poll question is, if they lose today, are you?
If I was evaluating
your temperature,
if I was evaluating you as a teacher, by the way, you would only get a 2 on your poll question.
Why?
Because this is just a recall and response question. I want you to ask like a thought-provoking
No,
question.
I just want to see where people stand right now.
Why do you think they'd give up? They're not you.
37%. You think that, but there's people. You know how Philadelphia fans are.
Yeah, but they were never in these 37%.
And by the way,
were never invested.
Guess
to
what,
begin
Pete?
with.
Back in the days at the Vet, that place, and even into 2018, that place would have been sold out. There would have been hardly any Mets fans there.
Oh yeah, the Mets fans still would have found a way, but you're right.
Not as much as they did this weekend.
Look, I think it's good for the game. I think it adds to the rivalry thing. I don't mind all those Mets fans coming in as long as the Phillies win the ball game. You know,
that's the only way to keep them out. But when the Phillies are 5-13 against the Mets, like you know what Larry Anderson said the other day on the radio.
Oh, I love the weekend. What did he say?
It's like the Phillies are scared of the Mets.
I don't know that they're scared of him. They just certainly haven't had success against him, and they've come up short against him. The only person that I would say would be scared against the Mets or seems to be avoiding them is Noah Syndergaard. And there's basically evidence of that Noah Syndergaard is tried.
What do you think he said to Robbie Thompson? He goes, "Listen, skip me on this one."
No, I don't think he went to Rob Thompson and told him that. I think that the staff knows that he's not ready. Like, look, it was their decision to set up the rotation how they wanted.
That's right.
Including, again, the other thing that I just
don't
couldn't
think
wrap my head around
competitor.
yesterday.
He's a competitor. He's an athlete. Nobody shies away from playing against their old team. Matter of fact, quite the opposite. They want to go against their old team and prove them wrong.
I just couldn't wrap my head around the fact that Zach Wheeler yesterday, he was given the option by Thompson on. He said, "Do you want to pitch game one or game two?"
Yeah.
And he said, even though his ERA was lower at night, he said, "I'll pitch game one." And that tells me that Zach Wheeler hasn't spent enough time around the Delaware Valley in August because why would you go pitch? Like, it's warm again today. The humidity is back again this morning.
Well,
why would you go out there and melt? But I think that he was
look at Aaron Nola. He loves this kind of weather.
Oh, yeah, but he's from Louisiana. It's different down there when you're from the bayou.
Guess what? Wheeler's from Atlanta, and if you've ever been down to Atlanta for games, you sweat there, you melt there in their stands.
I get it. I just look.
So
and
Zach Wheeler's not a stranger to pitching the heat.
To his credit, Zach Wheeler, I think, wanted to go back against because he did not pitch well in New York.
Right, that's right.
I think he wanted to go back.
I think he did too. And I just don't. I can't agree with your observation that Noah Syndergaard doesn't or wouldn't particularly care to go against the Mets. I think it's quite the opposite.
That's been out there that he doesn't want to face the Mets. It's is he avoiding the Mets? That question has been out there.
Right, but that's a question that some moron posted.
Okay, this guy's on the Phillies beat, but he's a moron. Like he's an.
I don't subscribe to that theory.
He is a press pass, and he didn't get ejected from the press box, right? But he's a moron. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is.
Look,
yeah, he is. Because if I were to ask Q, if Q was here, if I asked Q, because he's a former professional athlete, if that theory was true, I guarantee, knowing that the competitiveness in his body, that, at least for football, that doesn't apply.
He was lined up to make his fourth start with the Phillies on 5 days rest. This whole thing about how much rest does he get, right? Yeah, and then on Wednesday, they came out and said, you know what? He's going to get 6 days of rest. We'll put him up against the Reds. That's not the first time that Syndergaard was supposed to go against the Mets, and he's been pushed back.
I get that, Pete, but you're making it sound like he didn't want to, like somebody started a rumor that he didn't want to play against the Mets. That's what you made it sound like. I disagree with that.
Back in June, when he was with the Angels, he was supposed to face his former team. It was after 7 days of rest. Instead,
how long ago was that?
That was back in June,
and they're not anywhere near in a pennant race out in the West there.
It doesn't matter. This whole thing. First, they
I don't buy it.
Can't use both excuses.
Well,
we'll
ask Tommy Greene.
You want to give enough rest.
Let's ask Tommy
to a guy,
Greene.
And then the rest. Yeah, we'll ask him.
We'll ask him because we're having a disagreement.
And the question will be this: do you think there's any validity or truth to Syndergaard avoiding the Mets?
I'll tell you what. How about we bet a taco?
Sure.
Or I would find it very hard to believe that somebody at that level of athletic experience, and you know how players are, they want to prove that they want to look good, they want to win.
Do you think there's any truth or validity to Syndergaard avoiding the Mets? Because this is now the second time.
Well, I asked Tommy that.
Fine. Very good.
First hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts to help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing for the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey, PA, that's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation's certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at RDS Auto Group, 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. We got to get Tommy Greene in a Maserati.
I think he'd like that. Absolutely.
All right. When we return, we'll talk with Tommy Greene. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein and Pete Thompson right here on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles preseason continues today in Cleveland against the Browns.
He fires, and it is caught for a touchdown by Dallas Goedert.
Pre-game coverage starts at noon with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 1 p.m. This is where the Philadelphia Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's official Eagles station.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee. Those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning. Those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free Train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Call and again and again. Call and again and again.
You want the best Mexican food in South Jersey? Go to Red's Jersey Mex.
Hey, this is Red's. Come visit us at 11th and Haven in Ocean City, New Jersey, where we have been cooking up the best Mexican food, tacos, burritos, quesadillas, fajitas, enchiladas, Jersey fresh salads, and so much more since 2004, using only the finest ingredients available.
That's right. Go to Red's Jersey Mex. Call for takeout at 609-399-2272 or dine in. That's Red's Jersey Mex, 11th and Haven in Ocean City, 609-399-2272 or Red'sJerseyMex.com. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Red's Jersey Mex Cafe.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
Hey there, golfers. It's Pete Thompson. Are you the straightest player off the tee in your foursome, or do you struggle with nagging back pain from playing golf? Then Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club is definitely a place you want to check out. They offer the latest TrackMan technologies, golf simulators, combined with massage therapy, assisted stretching, and sport-specific training. It will help your game.
Hi, I'm Aaron Bada. Pete's right. Come visit the club in Summers Point. Call 609-788-4661 or gsfitness.com for your free assessment.
Nature Valley has helped restore access to 10,000 miles of national park trails, and we're on our way to restoring even more because every mile is a new memory. Life happens out there. Nature Valley.
I want the truth.
You
Springfield Mitsubishi AC.com. Springfield Mitsubishi AC.com.
New 22 Mirage 16 Ford, 9 down, $249 a month for 72 months at 3% APR, plus tax tag title to qualified buyers.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
Pete, where's my music?
I'm trying. I don't know what the heck's going on over
Another
there.
thing you can do.
Now, if I did that, he would be blowing up at me.
There it is.
See, he just didn't want to play. He wanted to hear Rod Stewart. I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
No,
I'll tell you what I'm going to do for Susan.
Be quiet.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do for Susan. The next time we come in at a break, you can pick your own Rod Stewart song. Just for her.
That'd be nice.
Just for her.
By the way, somebody hit a button over here that's never gets hit.
Yeah, somebody hit it.
Yeah, it wasn't me. The AB switch was
All
in
right,
the wrong position.
let's get to the more important stuff.
Yeah, not this.
Let's we're gonna have the Tommy on the Mound with Tommy Greene segment brought to you by
Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. Call 609-788-4661 or visit gsfitness.com for your free assessment.
Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome the man himself, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene. Good morning, T. Greene.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Well, Tommy, right off the bat, we're going to have you settle a score for us. Pete Thompson and I are in a disagreement. I do not think a player, any type of professional at that level, fears anybody. Matter of fact, the competitiveness of most professional athletes would not suggest that they're going to try to avoid their former team. On the contrast, I believe, and I want your opinion on this, that if anything, Syndergaard wants to pitch against the Mets.
That's that would be my theory about
he
it.
knows me a taco.
Yeah.
I mean, let the guy answer.
I just want. Man, thank you, Tommy.
There's nothing better shoving it up,
exactly.
The other team, yeah.
So Tommy.
They're a good ball club. They're a good ball club, but hey, you want to play good ball clubs all the time,
Tommy, when you get traded, you would think. Now he's coming off Tommy John, so I get it. But for this reporter to suggest that he's fearing or doesn't want to pitch against the Mets, I think is ridiculous.
Okay, you said the key thing, reporter. That's all it needs to be said. Because they don't have anything better to do to try to dig up stuff. So that's just my theory. I've had to deal with it before. They look for the negative.
That's right.
Try to do something to talk about. That's what sells papers, to find something else to talk about. I get what they're doing, but I don't think that's the case at all.
Tommy, also another thing real quick.
I can't weigh in
No,
at
you
all.
can't weigh in yet because you're wrong. So sit down over there, chump.
What kind of debate is this?
It's not a debate. Tommy Greene just set you straight as a competitor. I know Tommy played at the highest level you could play at. He's not fearing anybody. Matter of fact, you probably think he'd pitch another no-hitter.
I never said that Syndergaard didn't want to face his old team.
Yeah, that's what this reporter suggested.
I said that the question has been raised about whether or not he's avoiding the Mets.
And that's what Tommy Greene just said.
This
the
is
reporter just raises the question.
First time.
You're suggesting that that could possibly be.
It's
and
not
Tommy
just
Greene
the
just said
reporter.
you
It's all
straight.
over social media. I mean, everybody's asking about
I
this.
trust Tommy Greene. I don't trust some reporter who's a moron.
I trust Tommy Greene as well.
Billy is all over PT today.
You guys sure you're not married?
Almost.
It's a bromance.
Hey, T. Greene. Another discussion we're having is Zach Wheeler decided he wanted to pitch the first game instead of pitching the second game, which he has a better record at night than he does
ERA, better ERA.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's his choice. They gave him the option which one he wants. Does he want to sit around all day or, wait to that late to do things? I mean, they give him that options to do that, but he's been scuffling a little bit at late, with things. But I mean, whatever gets him floats his boat a little bit to get him back in the right gear is what I'm looking for right now. And I'm just glad we got a quality start from the guy last night, coming in a spot start. That was a big start, man.
So, Tommy, let me ask you, as a former player, how hard is it to play a day-night doubleheader where you start at 1 and then the next one starts at 7?
Start at 1, you're at the ballpark at 10 in the morning.
No,
I
said
until
the
12
game
hours
starts
later.
at 1. So, how hard was it for you, and is it for the players to play a day-night doubleheader?
Well, I would say it throws you out of your norm, so to speak, because you're around the ballpark you're there all day. Not necessarily. not that we weren't there all day anyway. Most of the time with my crew, we were there at 1, didn't leave till 1 at least, or 2 in the morning.
That's crazy.
You know, so but I mean, this is something they're not really used to. You know, back in the old days, you know, the guys, they used to play doubleheaders on the weekends and stuff like that. It was the norm, right. You know, so guys were used to doing that. You know, so I'd have to say it's a little bit different. You know, so it's a draining thing being around there a little bit, not just physically but mentally, to be sharp, to stay on top of your game, to be prepared each at bat and each inning, or be called upon and out of the bullpen. It's a big job. You know? So I think it's a tough thing.
Tommy Greene's our guest for the On the Mound segment we do each Sunday with him, brought to you by Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. You mentioned Bailey Falter, Tommy. That's back-to-back quality starts, July 29th against Pittsburgh, and then last night, 12 combined innings over his last 2 starts. The opposing hitters are hitting 7 for 41, and Dan from EHT texted and said, well, maybe the Mets just struggle against the lefties because Suarez dominated them and Falter did well twice.
Well, I mean, sometimes that's the way it goes. You know, the lefties might have a little bit of advantage over them a little bit because they tend to change speed. I know Suarez is on fire, and he changes speed so well, and he's been locating so well and pitching in very well too. You know, which keeps them all, lets them know they can't lean out over the plate when he throws that change up down in the way like he does. You know, it takes the authority out of their bat. But you know, I mean, they're a good ball club, and it's just sometimes, you know, that's the way it rolls a little bit. Some guys have success against them one year, and other times they don't. You know, it's just about it's the pitcher themselves that gets in a good groove, and it's about the mistakes they make during the course of the game. Or your tendency to make the mistake over the course of the game, over the middle of the plate with runners on or not. You know, and of late, that's sort of been what it's been with Wheeler a little bit. You know, it's just come down to a couple crucial things that's cost him, you know.
Now, they went with Robertson for a couple innings last night, and then Todd Zielecki later tweeted out that Sir Anthony Dominguez wasn't available because of tightness in his right triceps. Now he said he's concerned, but, you know, I mean, that's got to give you pause because Alvarado was great, but and Robertson looked, you almost, because in the ballpark, you don't always know exactly what's going on. You're thinking, oh, what's he sending him out there for a second inning for? Where's Sir Anthony? Now we kind of know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they sort of kept it under wraps, I guess. But, I mean, over the course of the season, you're going to have ailments. And hopefully this is something, I know it's concerning to Sir Anthony. Anytime your arm, after what he's been through with his, you know, starts giving you a little bit of issue, as long as it's, depending on the severity of it, if it's just tricep soreness, you don't want it to be a strain or anything like that, because that's going to require a lot of time off. You know what Knebel is going to have to go through. I think that lat strain is not it's not something you just overnight get over. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But they just want to make sure. I think that's the prudent thing to do. Make sure he hasn't done any like damage to that tricep. I don't know where it is along the tricep. Is it down towards the back of the elbow, or is it more in the belly, or is it up towards the shoulder in the back where it attaches at? So you got different things. You got to find out before you know what's going on.
And Matt Gelb from The Athletic is reporting that he's going to have an MRI today, that they only had 3 relievers available last night. You know,
you didn't say that to me earlier, right?
No, I'm just learning all this as we have Tommy on. Right, you know who pitched the last batter of the first game, right?
Was Sir Anthony Dominguez?
No, it was Long Ball Hall. Derek Hall they put in there because they needed to save as many relievers as they could. That's why Bailey Falter's start was so key last night. Yeah, it was 8-2.
I tuned that when it was 7-2. I was so pissed off.
Well, they scored another
Hey,
run.
Tommy, Kyle Gibson goes today. He's got a 4.29 ERA, and he's 7-5. He seems to be a guy that's like hot and cold. Like he'll come out with 2 performances that are really solid, and then he'll throw a clinker. Is that just being inconsistent? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's overall. I mean, you look at the body of work of him and the way he throws the baseball. He's relying a lot on movement and command. You know, because he doesn't overpower you.
Right.
So he changes speeds and it all depends on how well he's locating it. Does he is he getting ahead in the counts, or is he falling behind in counts? I mean, that's all big time things. When he's locked in and he's locating right off the bat, he pretty much he can dictate what's happened, get us a lot of ground balls and a lot of good things happen, a lot of early swings, and that's what happened when he gets in that good groove. I mean, like he has been here, not recently. He's been throwing the ball pretty well, I think. But then you'll have those games you give up a few runs, and that way, which having a 4 ERA in the big leagues is not a bad thing.
Well, Tommy, let me ask you.
It's just not a 2.5 like everybody wants you to have. That's hard to do. So.
Let me squeeze this in, Tommy. Mike Gill just tweeted out that the Phillies' record versus 500 or better teams, they're 6-6 against the Braves, 4-3 against the Dodgers, 4-2 against the Brewers, 4-3 against the Padres, 2-1 against Seattle, 4-3 against St. Louis. So they're 24-18, but against the Mets, as we know, 5-13, right? They beat the good teams, just not the Mets. They got to get the split today. Hey, before we let you go, I got a funny one here.
What?
I've been told from a certain source, I have to ask you, this is from Frank Kopenbarger. He says, did you ever ask Tommy Greene about his phone call from the Prime Minister?
Oh, yeah, that was after the no-hitter. Yeah.
What did they do? What did they do to you?
Oh, no, it was a getaway day, so we were all trying to get out of the clubhouse. Everything was in pandemonium. There's beer flying and everything else. And the clubhouse guy, Claude, I think was his name, said, you got a phone call, in the back room. You need to come answer. So I go, and what had happened, Claude, once I go through the door, he goes to the other phone right there, picks it up, and he talks in this this French accent, saying, this is the Prime Minister, basically what I say, of Canada. I wanted to congratulate you on da-da-da-da-da. And I didn't know it from Adam. I thought it hook, line, and sinker. So, and Roger McDowell's the one that got it going. He's the one that got Claude to do it. Yeah, Roger McDowell, you had to know where that guy was at all the time. So he was crazy.
There's nothing better than baseball pranks, but boy, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Hey, Tommy, real quick, I have one last question for you. When a team dominates you like that, it gets inside your head, right? And then I guess the first thing that goes wrong, then you go, here we go again, or professional athletes playing at that level, they just put it behind them.
Well, I mean, you got to learn. You got to have a short memory, especially if you're relievers. But I mean, you get to kind of dwell on it a little bit as a starter. But really, after your first day of work, first side session or whatever you're doing to try to correct the thing, so to speak, if you've been struggling a little bit, or reinforce the positives. Yeah, I mean, you're trying to put in your mind the positive things to move forward. You can't dwell on the negative all the time. I mean, that's for the writers and the people out there, to read the newspaper or what the record is in the past. Because every day's a new day, and everybody knows it's not over to the fat lady things.
You got that right, and it's always a great day having you on in the locker room. That's for sure. We appreciate it, Tommy.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Tommy Greene. You take care and go Phillies. Let's get that
Let's
split
go
today.
Phillies.
All
right, take care. Yes, sir.
Tommy Greene, brought to you by
Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. Call 609-788-4661 or visit gsfitness.com for your free assessment. Go down there and see Aaron and his crew.
It'll straighten me up so I can beat you.
And Kevin, you know what? You might run into the Prime Minister.
That's great. I'm telling you, I really enjoy having Tommy Greene on. He gives it to you a real perspective, and you hear it from a former pitcher that threw a no-hitter. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
He's great.
And I love, man, I'd never heard that story
and I'm glad Mike Gill.
And I've heard a lot of the 93 stories. But yeah. Mike Gill did the homework for us,
too. Yeah, he did the homework. And that's comforting to know that, that you can beat the good teams.
Yeah, I mean, and they've beaten some of the good teams.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you were
Just
talking
the Mets
about
have our number. That's it.
You were talking about Milwaukee, but right now the Padres, look, the Braves are the Braves. They won again last night in extra innings over Houston.
And they lost Marcelo Ozuna.
Right. Well,
they lost Okuda and Ozuna last year. They still won a World Series.
I mean, but the Padres are only a half game back. You got to get that split today.
First hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shortest center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you. 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call our good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they had private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. When we get back, we're going to flip it over and go football. Eagles. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein and Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Hey, it's Mike Gill. Coming up on Monday's show, we're live at
Atlantic City, 40 new Outlanders in stock now. An entire fleet of new and pre-owned. New Mitsubishis from just 17 grand.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
Every vehicle, one dime down.
At the all-new Springfield Mitsubishi, Atlantic City.
In Pleasantville, they service all makes and models.
SpringfieldMitsubishiAC.com. SpringfieldMitsubishiAC.com.
New 22 Mirage, 16 Ford, 9 down, $249 a month for 72 months at 3% APR, plus tax tag title to qualified buyers.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Little Rod Stewart, I like it.
You know this one?
If you want my body and you think I'm sexy.
No, thank you. This was one of my favorite moments of the concert. He turned around and he looked at a picture of himself from going into Studio 54 in like 1973. Remember it? I mean, here, if you're looking on the StreamYard, hang on.
I can't see. Let me see. I can't now.
Oh, sorry.
I can't see that. All right, listen, Pete.
There you go.
My favorite.
Can you see that?
There, barely. Oh, yeah, there it is. Wow.
Big drink in his hand. He's got like a cape.
My favorite Rod Stewart song is Billy Joe. What's this? The kids go around.
You're talking about Young Turks?
Yeah, Young Turks.
Did you see my Facebook post the other day?
No, I did not. I told you I got hacked.
Oh yeah, you got hacked. Yeah, you got shut down. You're in Facebook jail. Listen, there was a guy.
I'm not Facebook jail.
Well, you should be. There was a guy.
Just keep
who was on the radio in Philly for many years. Do you remember the name Barsky?
Yes.
Right? And in Young Turks, he says something about Janie gave birth to a 10-pound baby boy, right? So, I mean, this song came out in like 81. I'm like 10 years old. I'm listening to the radio, okay? He cuts down the mic in the middle of the song, and he goes, Janie gave birth to a 10-pound Barsky boy. And I was like, oh, my God, like that was the DJ. And then I just started laughing. It was the first time I understood, like
that's my favorite Rod Stewart song.
Young Turks,
Young
baby.
Turks.
Billy, the hour flew.
It always does when we're together, Pete. Listen, thank you to Tommy Greene.
Yep.
I love him.
Great job out of him.
Hour 2, we're going to be talking with John Emel, the president of the...
Or Emel. We'll figure that
one out. You always notice, now you can't get it right.
Well,
you always rip me for getting
I've only
people's
texted
names.
him. We haven't actually spoken yet.
Hour 2, we're going to talk with Mike Carlin as well.
That's true.
He's
It's
up in
all
Queens.
football in the
All
second
football.
hour, baby.
All right. When we return, we'll talk with the president of the West Jersey Football League.
And Battle by the Beach.
At the Battle by the Beach. Stay tuned for Hour 2. Locker Room, Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN.
Hey, I'm Pete Thompson.
And I'm Billy Schwein.
Now listen, Billy, I know you're an ocean
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob Mackley, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill. How you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Coach.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, the intern. Vince is here. Did a full hour of talking baseball, but now we're going to turn our attention to football, Vince and Pete.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful
thing. As Bernie
thing.
Perrant would say.
It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, Billy.
So last year.
Not the Prime Minister again.
That was great.
That was great.
Our next guest, we're going to talk to him about the event coming up at the Ocean City High School.
Battle by the beach, man.
Battle by the beach. Now, I was there last year. I actually watched one game from the boardwalk.
How was that?
You're a little far away, but you can see you can see the teams playing and the.
Come on, man! You're costing them box office. You're killing them.
No,
get down there and buy a ticket.
Well, if you want to really see the game well.
I thought you were going to say you watched it for the Ferris wheel. Or
my
something.
high school, Collingswood High School, played there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I was in my bathing suit.
Listen, this is going to be an unbelievable event. It's the 26th, 27th, and 28th, all next weekend at Ocean City High School, 5th in the boardwalk. You got to go because every day it's jam packed. Full of great matchups.
The stands were packed. All right, let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome in the president of the West Jersey Football League, John Emel. Good afternoon. Good morning, John.
Emel.
Emel.
Yeah, there you
go. Did I say Emel?
No. Good morning, gentlemen.
How you doing, John?
I'm doing well. I'm excited for next weekend. I think we're all ready to kick off some high school football in New Jersey.
I was really amazed last year at the amount of people that were, were in Ocean City because last year was the first year you did that.
Yeah, it was the first year for the event, and actually was the brainchild of Collingswood head football coach Mike McEwen.
Yeah, I know Mike.
So Mike wanted his team to play down there, I guess, during 2020, but COVID interrupted it. And when he mentioned it to me, in late 2020, early 2021. I said, hey, I want my team to play down there too. And all of a sudden, one team turned into two and two turned into
that's awesome.
22 teams and 11 games.
And there were a lot of buses down there. The stands were packed. It's a really cool event. Now, I played football for Collingswood High School. We won the Colonial Conference in 79. And things were a little different back then. I mean, we weren't allowed to actually practice with the coaches until September 1st. That's obviously all changed.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, anybody that follows high school football in New Jersey, or around the country, it's a year-round mentality now. We all encourage our guys to play other sports, but we're training for football as soon as the season ends, lifting weights, and you're right. This year, many teams will play their second game on Thursday, September 1st, which is just crazy how far it's come in the last 25, 30 years.
Yeah, they added week 0, now week 1. The schedule's changed. We're visiting with John Emel, the president of the West Jersey Football League. He's also the coach of Penns Grove football, and he's talking to us about Battle at the Beach, which is, the lineup is outstanding. Egg Harbor Township and Mainland kick things off at 10 o'clock, and then you got Cedar Grove versus Salem, Downingtown West and Highland, and then the home team gets the marquee game on that first night, Neshaminy Ocean City.
Hey, Pete, let me just jump in there. You know what's really cool about this? You're playing schools in PA. Right, Pete?
I thought you were asking John, so I was quiet.
John, but that's what I think that's so cool that you're having.
It's a mix of,
yes.
And if you're a PA school, that's where you want to be able to come down and they start earlier anyway, I think.
Yeah, PA has started that, you mentioned week 0. PA has started that week 0 date for a long time, and New Jersey caught up to them eventually over the last, 5-6 years. More teams have been playing week 0. A lot of, there's always a big PA contingent at the Jersey Shore and down Ocean City.
Anyway.
So those matchups make a lot of sense.
Tell us about, so I was reading some of the matchups. What to you, take off your coach's hat and put on your WJFL hat and tell me which one, or WJFCA, because it's the West Jersey Football Coaches Association. Tell me what matchups are you like licking your chops at and really looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to all of them, but I'll just focus on Friday for right now. So first, like you said, you got a lot of local flavor. You got EHT and Mainland. Mainland has a lot of good talent back. Jabril Mace, I think his name is, committed to Villanova at running back. EHT has a young coach who's trying to rebuild that program. They're going to be on the rise. So that's an exciting game, 10 o'clock in the morning Friday. I think that's going to be the first game in the state of New Jersey, and it's going to be a battle of the beach. And then you follow that up with Salem and Cedar Grove. Salem won the South 1 Bowl, and Cedar Grove won the North 1 Bowl. That's like a de facto state championship rematch from last year between the best Group 1 programs in 1 South and 1 North. And then, like you mentioned, you have Downingtown West in the Chamonix coming over to play Highland. Highland has a lot of guys back. People are excited about them. We actually scrimmaged them Friday. They have a lot of good talent under Coach Leary. And then Friday night, Ocean City. They do a tremendous job. It's one of the best venues in the country. And ironically enough, the Chamonix and Downingtown West are rivals. They actually play the following week on Labor Day weekend.
Wow.
So they'll play back to back.
Wow.
The Chamonix sold the Chamonix already bought almost 1,000 tickets themselves. So that Ocean City, the Chamonix game on Friday,
it's going to be packed
by the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, I would expect a few thousand fans on Friday night. And that's just Friday.
That's outstanding.
You know,
I got to tell you, Coach, you're right. Cary Stadium is beautiful with the ocean right there and Wonderland and the Ferris wheel going. And then not for nothing, the Tom Williams press box.
Yeah,
I'm sure that he'll put out like little Johnson's popcorn for all the people that come in. And we love Tom Williams. He's a friend of the show here and a longtime radio broadcaster and basically a cheerleader for all things high school sports in the Ocean City area. Don't know if you know Tom or not.
I had the privilege to meet Tom last year as we wwere, doing the first Battle of the Beach in the summer leading up, and I can't tell you how instrumental and supportive he was of, helping me stay organized. And he actually texted me the other day, and he's got a ton of connections down the shore, and like you said, he's such a positive supporter. He was asking me already for rosters this year because of COVID. We didn't do it last year. We'll have an official game program.
Nice.
We have 15 to 20 local sponsors, so it'll be $5 each. Have every roster of every team. So I told Tom we'll have that a rough copy for him on Monday because he's already raring to preview every team so he can get the players' names right, I'm sure.
We're talking with John Emel, the president of the West Jersey Football League.
Or Emel.
Did I say that again?
Yeah.
All right, John, I'm sorry about that. Hey,
Don't worry, John. I'm winning $1 every time he does it the French way.
Hey, listen, John, were there other teams that wanted to participate or because this is such a cool event?
Has the interest grown that you're like
people away?
Get in line,
Yeah, we had the privilege. My program had the privilege to play down there last year, and I was really excited. I know our kids were a little disappointed, but we got to share the wealth. We have over 90 programs in the West Jersey Football League. A lot of teams want to play, and we offer opportunities to a lot of teams. I know, for example, more guys wanted to come back. St. Joe's, Hamilton wanted to come back. We extended invitations to some other programs like Kingsway was real close to adding a fourth game on Sunday. They won Group 5. They have 19 starters back. So it's just so tough. I felt like in my position as president, it wasn't fair for me to allow my team to play down here 2 years in a row. I hope we can play next year. We should be pretty good. We have a good young group. But, Salem, obviously, winning a bowl, having a chance to match up against another bowl champ, Millville, finishing like they did, bringing a lot of guys back. So some programs, it was like a no-brainer. Hey, we have to bring them back. But we're going to continue to try to give more programs every year the opportunity to play in this event. That's my goal, and I think that's the goal of the other people that help run it.
John Emel's with us telling us about the Battle by the Beach. It's next weekend at Cary Stadium in Ocean City. Let me just run through those Saturday games. That's Wayne Valley versus Delran at 10:30. The 1:30 start is Toms River North and Washington Township. The Minutemen, 4:30. You got a couple of the Saints, Billy. It's St. Peter's and St. Augustine. And then later on, you've got St. John Vianney and Red Bank Catholic. That's Saturday. And then a couple more. Coach just mentioned it a minute ago. Thomas Jefferson versus Millville at 11 o'clock. 2 o'clock next Sunday, Holy Spirit and Cherokee. And then the 5 o'clock game is Edison and Cedar Creek. Where can people find out information, Coach, and tickets? You're just at the box office. You said they bought 1,000 tickets already, so there must be some way to buy them already.
So we sell it through a ticket website called GoFan. GoFan. It's you can search Battle at the Beach. You can buy tickets It's $10. The ticket is good all day. You'll be given a wristband. You can go in and out. You can watch the morning game. You can go have lunch on the boardwalk.
Go sit on the beach for an hour or two and then come back and catch us.
Absolutely. So you can enjoy.
That's great.
We want to make it fan friendly. It's all of our proceeds are going to charity, back to our coaches organization. So, we want to make it fan friendly. We want the thing to be packed. We really appreciate Ocean City and the Ocean City Board of Education.
Yeah.
So this is a community event. This is something that's big for everybody, not just our coaches associations and the teams. Let's talk about the Saturday matchups. So Delran and Wayne Valley will kick it off at 10 o'clock on Saturday. Wayne Valley's a team that won a sectional final a few years ago before COVID. And, in talking to their coaching staff in the offseason, they got a lot of guys back. It's exciting to bring down one of the Waynes. Wayne Hills and Wayne Valley are tradition-rich programs. Delran's a team that have had a lot of exciting players over the last couple of years. I know their coach left, but they got a longtime assistant, Frank Holmes, is taking over. And I know they're excited to play at Battle of the Beach. 1 o'clock, Washington Township, one of the biggest community maybe in South Jersey, the biggest school district football program, whatever you want to say, playing against Toms River North, who was in the Sectional 5 final. That's a monster matchup at 1 o'clock. St. Peter's, one of the best programs in the country, playing against, St. Augustine Prep, maybe recently the best parochial program in South Jersey. And then the 8 o'clock matchup, Red Bank Catholic, they went undefeated last year. They're a returning team to Battle the Beach. They're playing St. John Vianney in a rivalry game. These two schools, I don't want to say they don't like each other, but
they don't like each other.
They don't like each other.
They don't like each other. They don't like each other, so they're having that down at Battle of the Beach. That's usually their largest attended game for each program each season, and the alumni are really excited to come down. So the Saturday lineup is going to be a monster game, and then on Sunday, Millville, Thomas Jefferson. Millville, one of the best schools in your coverage area. I know last year,
very much so. Yeah,
Millville's going to open up on Sunday for sure. They have Brooks returning as an all-state player as a sophomore. A ton of other good players. They're going to play Thomas Jefferson from out Pittsburgh. Thomas Jefferson won PA state titles, I believe, in 19 and 20 or 18 and 19, and they return a ton of guys. So I don't want to say Millville's the underdog because I'm always pulling for the West Jersey football teams against the out area teams, but they're going to have their hands full from the start with this Thomas Jefferson team out of Pittsburgh. We got Cherokee playing at 2 o'clock versus Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, been one of the best programs the last couple of years, was the number one team in South Jersey in 2020. Cherokee is a monster team. They did a number on Cedar Creek the other day in a preseason game. They bring a lot of guys back, one of the best running backs in the West Jersey Football League for Cherokee. And then the Sunday night, you got Cedar Creek, who I just mentioned, 13-0, depending on who you ask, maybe the number one team in South Jersey last year, undefeated Group 3, bowl champs, playing Edison, another program on the rise, who's been a playoff caliber team, bringing some Central Jersey flavor down to the shore.
Well, there you go, Coach. You got them all in. I mean, we're a little up against the break, but that's all right. Our sponsors will understand. It's for high school sports. Hey, Billy, you'll like this. The tickets, kids 10 and under, are free. So not only remember the number,
so I can bring the doopy.
Just remember the number 10. It's $10 for the wristband for the entire day. You come and go as you please.
That's awesome. That's a great.
And it's just chock full of football. It's good to see, John Emel, that the football side of things are taking their cue from all these basketball events. Used to always be holiday basketball and stuff like that. Finally, we got this building. We got good momentum, and we can't wait to see you guys next weekend. Thanks so much for joining us, Coach.
Hey, thanks, Pete. Thanks, guys, for having me, and I hope to catch you at the beach next week.
All right, thanks, Coach. All right, there is a coach, the president of the West Jersey Football League, John.
Might be the Coaches Association, but I know he's the president.
Emel.
John Emel.
Emel.
I don't know why you're melling anything.
Ready for this? When I was interviewing,
although he admits that his ancestors had it as Emel,
I knew, that's why I knew deep
and
down
then they
inside.
dropped an M somewhere along the way.
Pete, you've been in radio and TV for a long time.
27
when I was interviewing
years.
Ryan Dunn and Frank Christie from Ocean City, the doubles crew at the Ventnor, I had to take like 17 takes. I couldn't get his name right. Ryan Dunn. I kept calling him something, the name that was in the program.
You did well on funk, and you didn't mess that up.
No, well, thank God.
Don't change the N to a C.
All right, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's
fun.
There you go. Hey, the Great Bay Country Club is an award-winning private club where you're greeted by name. It's home of the 3 hour and 58-minute round. They've got lots of new renovations, new outdoor patio overlooking the first tee with fire pits. That'll be a fun place to be on evenings in September. Right?
Yeah,
the fire
yeah,
pits
yeah,
going.
absolutely.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
They got a new sound system. They're working on a big outside deck with a view of the 18th green for entertainment and weddings. Of course, they've got the new pro shop with new apparel lines, including Fairway and Green, Stitch, Johnny O, Doc Murphy. They do weddings, and they have award-winning culinary.
Yeah, you're in the market for that? Sorry.
And then they customize your menus. They can seat up to 275 people. That's a big wedding.
Oh, yeah.
So they're also accepting social memberships are available now, $25 a month. So for more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5070. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always, always a great day at Great Bay. And, of course, when you get down there, please say hello to Radio Ron Ralston. All right, Pete, my winter watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey Premier Vacant Home Management Service? My Winter Watchdog. You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road. If you're away for the winter down in Florida, Hawaii, let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with a 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or send Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, intern Vince on 97.3 ESPN.
This week on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio.
People turn into kids at this place all the time.
It's
Mitsubishi. 40 new Outlanders in stock now. An entire fleet of new and pre-owned. New Mitsubishis from just $17,000.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
Every vehicle, one dime down.
At the all-new Springfield Mitsubishi, Atlantic City.
In Pleasantville, they service all makes and models.
Springfield Mitsubishi AC.com. Springfield Mitsubishi AC.com.
New 22 Mirage, 16.4 dine down, $249 a month for 72 months at 3% APR, plus tax tag title to qualify buyers.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, who, by the way, owes me a taco.
Yeah, but you
at
got
Red's Jersey Mex.
You got Emel's name wrong so many times.
No, so it's a wash.
It's total wash.
Not true.
Totally.
Pay up, buddy.
Hey, man, we got Eagles football on our air today.
That's right, and I'm excited because I'm more excited, and I want to ask Vince, the intern, this first. What are you more excited about this year, the Eagles' offense or the Eagles' defense? See that? Is that a good question? Does that bring up to
a good question?
Does that bring me up to like a B?
Absolutely.
Is it or is it 8?
Your questioning is getting better.
Are you giving me a teacher evaluation, Pete?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I am always. Look, I'm always evaluating you. Always.
What do you think, Pete or Vince?
I guess you got to go offense, right?
No, I'm actually more excited about the defense.
Are you?
And I'm going to tell you why.
I mean, you got N'Kobe Dean,
Jordan Davis, man.
Sincere White, he's been playing lights out. And I know it's only the preseason, but there are these. We're going to talk with Mike Carlin, our very own Mike Carlin, who I sent on assignment.
Yeah, you had something to do with that? Yeah, right.
But he's on the
sideline. I think he was going to be there anyway.
I've been speaking to him every day.
I know, but I think his son lives out there.
That's right. Come on. He works for the Cavaliers.
That also helps.
Right. So that helps. But Vince,
it's Cleveland.
And it's Cleveland.
Yeah.
But Vince, the defense, I think, remember, at the end of the year, they started to play a little bit better, but their linebacker play was so horrible that remember, Gannon didn't blitz.
They actually have depth now.
They got depth. They have depth, but they also have guys, I think, Bradbury and obviously Slay, they trust. They can blitz now. They couldn't blitz. They really didn't do a lot of blitzing.
They have the system that almost said Rich Gannon, Jonathan Gannon, that would have been a malaprop, wants to play. That Jonathan Gannon wants to play. They finally have the pieces in place that he wants to play. And by the way, we're not going to see Hurts, right?
No.
So does AJ Brown even play? They got all their work done. I don't think so. They got all their work done in these joint practices. In the joint practice on Friday, Hurts connected with AJ Brown and then Dallas Goedert on back-to-back plays during the full team period. That's their preseason work. That's him getting the timing down, for him to connect with Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert in the joint practices. We're going to see a lot of backups today. But listen, Gil's question on Friday, and we'll get to your Twitter question too, was which gets the sound? In other words, which game gets the sound? Right. Now, I've got it mapped out. I'm going
to say if the Phillies win today,
right,
it's going to be split.
Right. Well, Philly, you got to pick one or the other.
I'll say Phillies.
Okay. So for me, I'm starting with the Phillies at 1, right? At about 1:30, once there's an inning under the books, I might flip over to I'm absolutely going to flip over to the Eagles. Surf. Yeah, right. I'll go back and forth. So which gets the sound is whichever one I'm bouncing back and forth.
Well, I think right now, the Philadelphia faithful is still locked in and very hopeful about the Phillies.
And that's your Twitter question.
That's
Vince, you want to update us on the Twitter poll?
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, sorry to catch you off guard there.
But Pete, go ahead, Vince.
I'm also going to say I can't watch preseason football.
I can't either.
It's just so boring.
You know what I do? I'll tune in to see the players running on the field. It makes me feel good to have the football back, but I'm not tuned in.
I know I should be watching it to see some of if they have any diamonds in the rough, but I can't get into it. After a quarter of it, I'm like, I can't sit here and watch.
Well, the starters only play usually 1 or 2 series and they're out. And I hear it's Sunday, by the way, I just got a text message from Carlin, a picture of him outside of the Mistake in the Lake.
Right. And he looks great.
He's got an Eagles shirt on. He's got a big smile. He said he's ready to go.
All right, good.
Well, we'll talk about the bottom of the hour.
Current standings in the poll, 65% still believe.
Of course.
5% are checked out.
Good. Don't give up.
And so there's always going to be that.
Jimmy Valvano. Don't give up. Don't ever give
give
up. I don't know, Vince. I mean, I look at it like this. Like I watched in the Jets game, I watched the ones.
Yeah.
I watched to see what they could do. I knew when they drove right down the field and scored and Hurts was perfect and had that perfect passer rating. I was like, well, that's it. And then I basically went back to the Phillies that night. And the Phillies were on
Phillies
Apple.
are relevant.
And the Phillies were hard to find. I mean, I wasn't just trying. That Apple TV Plus.
Remember I told you so if you're channel surfing, you can't go back and forth. You have to check out of the Apple TV.
That's right.
And they get back. So I'm like,
are you sure you want to exit the Apple TV Plus app? Yes,
so
I'm sure.
I had my man room right upstairs, and the living room TV was with the Phillies, and the man room had the Eagles game.
Attaboy, Billy. Look at you working.
So I lost a couple LBs going up and down the steps.
Billy's man cave.
Yeah, he was getting cardio in though. That's his cardio, the steps.
Going up the stairs.
Yeah, I think I'm more excited. I think I'm more excited about this defense. With I have expectations for the offense. When you add a guy like AJ Green, AJ Brown, right?
AJ Brown.
I say Green final.
Yeah.
When you add that with Devontae Smith looks like he's added pounds. I was going to say
he was going to go 2 for 2. We just love it.
As long as you just sit there and laugh and not break my
balls. How can we not laugh? Vince and I are both dying. Right. You got two names out and both were wrong.
But my point is, I have expectations for the offense. You add those guys, Smith puts LBs on. He's looking a lot better.
I think Devontae Smith is going to have a big
another year of hurt.
I think Devontae Smith is going to have a huge year now that AJ Brown is there.
I think so.
You saw the AJ
Goddard's
Brown
have
effect.
A big year.
You saw the AJ Brown effect on the Goddard touchdown.
Yeah. So I think I'm more excited about the defense.
The reason why I only said offense is just because I guess it's not so much I'm more excited to see it. I think it's more of the question of how does Jalen Hurts perform? Because like we said in past weeks, it's more so Jalen Hurts is kind of the final key. It all depends on how he plays, and it's really going to be the success of this team. If Jalen Hurts plays good, the Eagles have the potential to do really great things. If he doesn't play good, then they're not going to be a good football team. So
yeah, I mean, and so we're going to talk to Mike Carlin, who's been up there since Thursday watching the practices, and he'll give us a more detailed. I've been seeing videos on like Instagram and Twitter of it wasn't Miles Sanders because he's out with a hamstring, and that really worries me. This is his third year of not being able to stay healthy,
and apparently,
the game is. I mean, the season hasn't even started yet.
I heard Gainwell's not having a good camp either right now.
The Eagles. I have high expectations for them this year. I even think they're going to win the division. That's how confident I am. I really like what happened. Obviously, I've been critical of Howie Roseman, but he knocked it out of the park this year.
He's made all the right moves. You still got to play the game.
But you still got to play the game.
Yeah. So let's get to Carlin, man. Start reading those ads so we can.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It's 11:30, dude. Hurry
what am
up.
I doing?
I don't know. You're
second out of the locker room.
Talking about AJ Green and Devontae Adams.
What I want to get to Carlin. Second out of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is award-winning private golf club where you're greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Let me tell you about Maserati, the main line. It's located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli mid-size sedan and the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation's certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the main line, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at RDS Auto Group at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll go to Mike Carlin in Cleveland. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Hey, it's Mike Gill coming up on Monday's show.
Mitsubishi, Atlantic City.
In Pleasantville, they service all makes and models.
Springfield, MitsubishiAC.com. Springfield, MitsubishiAC.com.
New 22 Mirage, 16 Ford, 9 down, $249 a month for 72 months at 3% APR, plus tax tag title to qualified buyers.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Pete, I sent my co-host on assignment to Cleveland.
Your Cleveland correspondent?
The Cleveland correspondent. We sent him up there on assignment. The Locker Room financed his trip.
Yeah, on a buddy pass. Yeah, you contributed $0 here, and then he's on standby.
He just sent me a nice picture of the biggest smile on his face.
Yeah,
and
looks
why
great.
not? Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the Locker Room our good buddy Mike Carlin. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, boys, and Billy. I'm so glad I got your expense report. I got it all right. I just checked out of the Ritz-Carlton. So I walked over here to the stadium.
Just do me a favor. Don't use that bar. That's really expensive, all right? You take those little bottles out of the refrigerator, I get really dinged.
It's clean. That thing is completely clean. Remember, I had my son with me, so it's
That's
clean.
right.
But listen, guys, I'm outside the stadium. It's overcast. The rain did stop, which is a good thing because it rained all morning. There's a good amount of Eagles fans here. It's not like a regular season game, but there's a good amount of Eagles. Guess what? The biggest jersey I keep seeing. You ready for this?
Hurts.
Dawkins.
Jeez, how about that?
We got
People
some
love him,
old-timers
man.
here.
Well, Mike, you remember we
love
talked
Dawkins.
Dawkins at the Maxwell Award dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Remember what he looked like? He looked like he could put on the pads right there.
And how about when I asked questions with the intensity with which he answered them?
Yeah, I know. But it's a good atmosphere. People are excited. People are excited here in Cleveland. This is their first home game for preseason. So they're all coming out. The stadium's right next to the Hall of Fame. I mean, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, of course.
Right.
And like I said, the two starting quarterbacks today, we're going to see Josh Rosen and we're going to see Gardner for the Eagles.
Now, give us some observations that you have made while attending two of the practices so far.
Well, I wasn't ready for what I saw, to be honest with you. It was like going to the first time I went to a blue and white game for Penn State. I thought it was going to be a real football game. You guys realize there's no tackling.
No,
right.
There's very little hitting. No one's taking anybody down, and they stop its play. It's like it literally is a controlled scrimmage, almost like in basketball. If you don't see something or you want the other team to work on something, you tell them ahead of time, like, hey, we want to work on our running game. We want to work on this, and that's what the other team works on. But the couple things I did see that stood out, Cooper for them was lighting up our sleigh guy. Literally, he was lighting them up, guys.
Really?
I don't know if he just had a bad day or what, but literally,
or maybe it was too hot. I heard. I mean, they were practicing in the afternoon, right?
They practice from 2 to 4 out here, and it's hot.
And it's hot.
It was
you
hot.
would think that they better not do that in Miami next week.
I don't know why they wouldn't do 10 a.m. start times for practice in August, but hey, I don't make the times.
Yep. As I'm walking, I got birds giving me like the head nod, like good to see you out here with my shirt on.
It's amazing.
Now on the flip side, let me tell you good things. On the flip side, you know who they couldn't stop? Their number one defense. They couldn't stop Brown, Smith. Smith was practicing Brown and got us. Dallas.
The big three.
So, Mike, that's what I said. That's what I just said to Pete and Vince. I said, what side of the ball are you more impressed with right now? And I said defense, because my expectations are already set high for Brown and Smith. And Goddard.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. But it's going to be. I really think it's going to be a fun year. I think I'm getting now thumbs up. People are giving me thumbs up, so that's a good thing.
Of course, we'll be broadcasting live at yesterday's for all the 1 o'clock games, and I'm really excited about that. We're gonna have the Eagles cheerleaders there. We're gonna have a couple of former players there. Tons of giveaways, and it's just gonna be a really fun time, and hopefully a great year. And it all depends on how the team plays.
we're gonna be the pregame to the pregame.
We're the pregame to the pregame
most weeks. Hey, Mike, I didn't hear if you answered that or not. Which side of the ball are you looking forward to more?
Today, I'm going to be looking for the offense.
No, I mean for the season.
Yeah, what team are you?
Definitely for the season too. Hold on a second. I got Eagles fans right here. Radio from Philadelphia.
Oh, that's fine.
Say hello and tell
Look
me
at him
what you
moving
think
on the
of that
fly.
score.
He's
Hold
moving
on.
and shaking. He's moving and shaking.
28-0. He says 28-0.
28-0. We're giving preseason predictions. This is outstanding.
Live radio, I love it.
Yeah, just don't let him curse. I mean, come on, I'm producing over here. All right, so
no, I trusted him.
Now, Mike Carlin, you know that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should have been in Philadelphia, right?
Absolutely.
I didn't know that, but I'm literally standing right in front of it.
We got gypped, man.
I couldn't get closer.
Back in the day when they were deciding where to build that, there was
Bandstand was here.
Exactly. American Bandstand was here. Dick Clark did a show here. It was supposed to be in Philadelphia, but Cleveland must have made a better offer or something. They were able to do it for less money.
Well, I got to tell you guys, I'll take a picture when we're done. Wait to see what the backdrop is here for the Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You got the stadium right next to it, and then you got Lake Erie right behind it. It really is nice.
Hey, Mike,
you can walk everywhere here in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, it's a one-hat town, man. It's a one-hat town.
It's definitely, yes. You walk everywhere.
So listen, Mike, you're pretty close to the players. You know, you're in close proximity. The coaching staff. Is it chippy? We're getting reports that it's been a little chippy between the two.
In the practices,
yeah,
they were fighting.
practices.
Sure.
I think it happens everywhere.
But I mean, have you seen? Has that? I mean, has it been big enough to where people report on it?
No. When I was there on Thursday, I didn't really see it. Or a little shoving around here and there, and yelling back and forth, but no outright.
Because then they had a reporter asked Cox about the chippiness. And he said, we're not shying away from it. Made it like it was a lot worse than it is.
Well, you know what it is, guys. The starters know that they're not playing like today. So if they're going to hit someone or get into it, they got to take advantage of being at these practices against the other team. Because like today, they're just going to be watching. So they want to get all their frustrations out during these joint practices.
Now, last week, Jalen Hurts went 6 for 6 for 194 yards, something like that.
Yeah, he was perfect.
I mean, yeah, perfect.
Passer rating of 158. But the thing we keep talking about is remember that year that Sam Bradford had that unbelievable game against the Packers and everybody drank the Kool-Aid. So you got to remember who they're going against.
So from your observation, Mike, just seeing the play in these practices, Jalen Hurts, what is your impression?
Much more advanced than last year. Much more advanced. And we haven't even started the season. And when you talk to people on the sidelines, a couple of the reporters who I recognize, and I'd say, man, Jalen really looks like you. They look at you and they go, totally different guy from last year.
See,
so maybe it's more study, maybe Ford's more comfortable, but he looks like a power. He doesn't look like a guy going into his second year. That's true.
I think the one position of all sports that has the most influence is the quarterback. It's a quarterback league. And you don't it's the reason why is because it's so important that it's hard to pick it up or change your play a little bit. Because remember, when he was in college, what did he do? Look at his first option, and if it wasn't there, he pulled it and ran.
He ran.
And now he's got to stay. They always got to stay in the pocket and then protect yourself by sliding when you have to, getting out of bounds without taking a hit. These things, it's just not. You don't just develop that overnight unless you're,
I really think it's going to come down to one thing. When people asked me last night, we were in town walking around in bars, and how are you guys? Everybody's talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I said, guys, you know what it is? If the Dallas Cowboys have their quarterback is better than us this year, they may win the division. If our quarterback's better than theirs, we're going to win the division.
They've lost some players, but they've lost some players, Mike. The Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't question Dak's ability. I question who's around him. What talent is around him?
We got to see.
Mike, now listen, don't your expense account. You're not supposed to be going out to bars and everything. They need you home getting rest. What are you doing?
Charge it all to the Schweimer.
Charge it all to the locker room.
Bars serve food. They don't just serve alcohol, guys. I'm not out here just I am eating.
You got to live it. You got to live it on your budget, all right?
Yeah.
Well, Mike, listen, man. Enjoy the rest of the day. We really appreciate you chiming in today. We look forward to having you back in the studio.
You got it. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, take care, Mike Carlin with us. Yeah, go Birds. Absolutely. Remember, you can listen to that game right here on 97.3
So like Vince just said, he's only interested in the first two series, and then you're out
until the starters are.
But how about all
the starters? Even the starters aren't the starters.
But guess what? Mike Carlin just hit the nail. It's preseason. They got a big Eagles presence out there.
Yeah, I love it. Look, the Eagles have always traveled well. Preseason, I mean, look, people are showing up for joint practices, by the way. You got Josh Sweat being talked about like he kind of has usurped Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham was the starter. Now Josh Sweat's coming on, and he had like multiple sacks, and I have to put the sacks in quotation marks because, again, they don't tackle to the ground, but the Eagles D-line, like you talked about this earlier when you were talking about being excited on the defensive side of things. The Eagles were 31st in sacks last season. That was not what they wanted, and they feel that they've got the horses this year to make that number be way improved, to make their defense way improved. So I hope so.
Do you get to any Eagles regular season games?
Do I?
You have tickets, or do you go to any?
Yeah. Last year I went to the Chargers one.
Okay.
And then I also went to I guess last year they were the football team, the Washington football team. But yeah,
now they'll be the Commanders. Yeah, I'm with you.
Listen, I want to see the Commanders game at home.
Well, that's going to be a must see. Carson Wentz.
But since you brought them up, I would like to remind everybody that we'll be over at the Brewing Company, Garden State Brewing Company next Friday.
Oh, right, for that giveaway.
Trip. Yes, you can win a trip. So make sure you go to 97.3.
Tommy Jackson Tommy Jackson won the one.
He's nominated.
He's nominated. Yes.
That's awesome.
And he told me he's going.
Well, that's great.
You got to be there to win.
Yeah, you got to be there to win. And Mike Yo and I are going to do the whole show from there 2 to 6
giveaway, Gil.
on Friday. Yeah, it's courtesy of Philly Sports Trips, so we love that. We're very excited to be doing that.
All right, man. We got what, 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks.
FYI, that's at 247 East Whitehorse Pike in Galloway, the Garden State Beer Company.
That's
there
awesome.
you go.
So what do we have? 3 weeks now to start opening week.
Yeah,
3 weeks from today.
I don't know about you guys, but I saw like a guy that runs my big money league sent out an email like, are we doing this again? And do we want to jump from 10 teams to 12? And everybody jumped back in. Yes, right? Finally today, he sent this out Friday morning. Today, the one guy writes back and says, I want in. I can't draft on 9-5 or 9-6. Well, then you don't want in. That's Labor Day and the day after Labor Day. The games start on the 8th, dude. When do you want to play or not? Like, who sends an email back and says, I want in, but I can't do this?
Then you're out.
What are you, dictating terms? Give me a break.
Now, do you do a lot of fantasy events?
Oh, I am a huge fantasy guy.
Younger guys, they're into this.
Oh, my God.
As they should
It's
be.
all we do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The amount of mock drafts that I've done in the last, week. Me and my buddies just.
Have you actually had a draft yet? No.
No, we have our
first one.
Yeah.
So who's everybody going? Who's everybody's number one pick? I mean, who's the most popular?
Well, Jonathan Taylor is the consensus,
in the early going
right now. Christian McCaffrey's up there still. Cooper Kupp's up there still.
Cooper Kupp. By the way, speaking of Cooper
Austin
Kupp,
Eckler,
I have a nephew, Harrison Brooks. He plays at North Paulding down there in Georgia.
Okay.
Zach Wheeler went to, he went to South Paulding, I think. But he's down there. My nephew, in their first game, he caught 2 touchdowns, kicked 3 extra points, and a field goal.
Well, if you're going to talk about your nephew, I'm going to say get well to my nephew, Jimmy.
There you go.
Who in his, he was in Annapolis. Did you just say South River?
No, South Paulding.
Oh, South Paulding. South River is the school that Jimmy plays for, and he dislocated his elbow yesterday in a scrimmage. So my sister sent me a picture of him and said, it was like you, Peter, when you got your arm broken. And I'm thinking, poor,
dude, have you ever seen that?
Heal fast.
He was on the sidelines
filming video.
What game was it between the teams?
It was Egg Harbor Township, Ocean City at Egg Harbor Township.
So there was a camera up in the booth. I guess they caught it.
Yeah, there was a press box camera. What happened is the players came towards me. It wasn't them hitting me. It was that the one guy tackled the EHT guy, tackled the Ocean City guy into me.
But as they were going out,
they pinned my feet. So all my weight went down, and I was
destroyed.
fatter then. Yeah, all my weight went down on my elbow.
That was one of the hardest hits I've ever seen.
And I broke my humerus bone, and there's nothing funny about it.
So Billy shouting out his nephew, Pete shouting out his nephew.
Yeah,
I don't have a nephew, so I'm
too young.
I thought this was going to be like a sincere
happy
moment.
birthday to his girlfriend.
Right.
All right. The second hour of the locker room was brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf; it's fun. They made a lot of great renovations down there. The new outdoor patio overlooking the first tee with fire pits, a new sound system and landscaping. They're working on a big outside deck with a view of the 18th green. You know how you come up as you approach the country club? You're going to be nervous. People are going to be hanging out there, and you're going to have eyes on you.
At St. Andrews for hundreds of years.
You're not. You don't belong at St. Andrews.
I played there once.
You have played there.
You haven't.
But it's on my bucket list.
Sure.
All right. But they've got that outside deck with a view of the 18th green. You can also have a wedding out there. They have the pro shop with new apparel lines, including Fairway and Green, Stitch, Johnny O and Doc Murphy, a completely renovated dining room. They do weddings. They have an award-winning culinary banquet staff that customizes your menus, and they seat up to 275 people. So a great place to have a wedding. Social memberships are now available starting at $25 a month. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for us. Ryan, Owen, they're all there.
Sorry, there's some breaking news. Corey Knabel's going to head to the 60-day injured list, done for the season. In addition to his lat, he also has a shoulder tear. So that's it.
That's why maybe that's it gives you. Now we know why he was.
No,
struggling.
that was. Oh, why he was struggling.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to mix him with Sir Anthony.
Just about everybody.
Hurry up over there.
No, just about everybody in there has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia, South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. It's a great networking tool. When we return, we'll wrap it up. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN, and the mobile app.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles Preseason.
Was the Springfield Mitsubishi, Atlantic City. They made it clear. It's a crime to pay more than a dime. Every new Mitsubishi, one dime down.
Take them away. And at Springfield Mitsubishi, Atlantic City, ask for credit amnesty.
If you bring home $350 a week, you could get up to $25,000 in credit. So, what's the beat on inventory?
Other dealers are struggling, but not Springfield Mitsubishi, Atlantic City. 40 new Outlanders in stock now. An entire fleet of new and pre-owned. New Mitsubishis from just $17,000.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
Every vehicle, one dime down.
At the
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson. Time flies when you're having fun, PT.
Yeah.
Vince, the intern's here. Another fun show. Tommy Greene. I want to thank Tommy Greene. John Emel.
John Emel, yes.
I said
very
it right.
Good.
Thank you.
Not really.
I didn't say right. I didn't say right.
You said John Emel again. It's Emel.
I said Emel. That's what I just said, didn't I, Vince?
Booby traps. Come on, man. We're running out of time. Hurry up.
Thanks to John. Looking forward to the battle by the beach next week. That'll
Thanks
be
to
fun.
Mike Carlin.
Thanks to Mike Carlin. Thanks to PT. Thanks to Vince. Thanks to everybody. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you, Billy.
Eagles preseason football right here on 97.3 ESPN tonight. Mike Gill and I will be at Ocean tomorrow. Don't forget about that.
Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Have a great week, everybody. Let's go, Birds and Phil.
The best way to wake up is with Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Did you take those big down payments?
You're darn right I did.
Your Honor, he is breaking the laws of Springfield.